It's 1973. The world, at first glance, seems to be humming along in perfect harmony. In cities across the globe, the streets are alive with the constant movement of cars, sleek sedans, boxy station wagons, and the occasional muscle car, all weaving through the urban landscape. The air is filled with the sounds of engines, horns, and the distant chatter of people going about their daily routines. Factories are running at full tilt, their smokestacks painting the sky with plumes of industry. Inside, workers move with practiced efficiency, assembling everything from televisions to refrigerators, the products of a booming post-war economy. Suburban neighborhoods are thriving, with families enjoying the fruits of prosperity. Children play in the yards, parents tend to gardens, and the hum of lawnmowers is a familiar weekend soundtrack. Oil, the lifeblood of this modern world, is abundant and, more importantly, cheap. Gas stations are busy but never frantic, and the price per gallon is so low it barely registers as a concern for most families. People drive without a second thought, planning road trips, commutes, and Sunday drives, with the confidence that fuel will always be available. The automobile is not just a means of transportation, it's a symbol of freedom, progress, and the good life. Economies are growing at a pace that feels unstoppable. Newspapers and television broadcasts are filled with stories of new jobs, rising wages, and technological advancements. There's a sense of optimism in the air, a belief that the future will only bring more prosperity, more convenience, and more comfort. The world's major powers are focused on innovation, expansion, and the promise of a better tomorrow. In the evenings, city lights flicker on, illuminating bustling downtowns where people gather in restaurants, theaters, and nightclubs. The culture is vibrant, with music, fashion, and art reflecting a society confident in its direction. There's a palpable sense of security, a collective assumption that the systems in place, economic, political, and social, are stable and reliable. Yet beneath this surface of contentment, there are subtle signs that not everything is as unshakable as it seems. The world's dependence on oil is growing deeper by the day, and the intricate web of global supply chains is more fragile than most realize. But for now, in 1973, these concerns are distant, almost invisible. The average person is focused on the here and now, the next paycheck, the next family gathering, the next vacation. No one is worried, or at least not openly. The prevailing mood is one of confidence, even complacency. The idea that the world could be on the brink of a major upheaval is almost unthinkable. After all, things have been going well for so long. Why should anyone expect that to change? As we step into this pivotal year, it's important to remember the sense of security that defined the era. The world is running smoothly, or so it appears. But history has a way of surprising us, often when we least expect it. And in 1973, the stage is quietly being set for an event that will shake the foundations of this seemingly unbreakable prosperity. But then, everything stops. The reason: oil, the most valuable resource on the planet. In October 1973, as the world's attention was focused elsewhere, a dramatic and unexpected conflict erupted in the Middle East. This was the Yom Kippur War, a pivotal moment in modern history that would reshape not only the region, but also the global balance of power. The war began on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur, a day of fasting, prayer, and reflection. For many Israelis, it was a day meant for peace and atonement. But as the sun rose on October 6th, the tranquility was shattered by the thunder of artillery and the roar of fighter jets. Egypt and Syria, determined to reclaim territories lost in the Six-Day War of 1967, launched a coordinated surprise attack against Israel. Egyptian forces surged across the Suez Canal into the Sinai Peninsula, while Syrian troops stormed the Golan Heights in the north. The initial assault caught Israel off guard. Israeli defenses, thinly stretched and unprepared for the scale of the attack, struggled to hold their ground. The fighting was fierce and relentless. In the Sinai, Egyptian soldiers advanced behind a massive artillery barrage, using water cannons to breach the formidable Israeli sand walls. In the Golan, Syrian tanks rolled through the rocky terrain, overwhelming the small Israeli outposts. For the first time in years, Israel faced the real possibility of defeat. Families huddled in bomb shelters, radios crackled with urgent news, and the nation mobilized every available reserve. As the world watched in shock, the United States made a fateful decision. President Richard Nixon and his Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, saw the conflict as a test of American resolve in the Cold War era. The Soviet Union was already supplying arms and intelligence to Egypt and Syria. If Israel were to fall, it would shift the balance of power in the Middle East and perhaps the world. In response, the US launched Operation Nickel Grass, a massive airlift of military supplies to Israel. Giant cargo planes flew round the clock, delivering tanks, ammunition, and medical supplies. American support proved decisive. With these reinforcements, Israel was able to regroup, counterattack, and eventually push back the invading forces. The tide of battle turned, but the cost was immense. Thousands of lives lost on all sides, cities scarred by war, and families forever changed. The consequences of the Yom Kippur War rippled far beyond the battlefield. In response to US support for Israel, the Arab members of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, decided to use their most powerful weapon, oil. In October 1973, they announced an embargo on oil exports to the United States and other nations seen as supporting Israel. The world was stunned. Almost overnight, the price of oil quadrupled. Gas stations in America and Europe ran dry. Long lines of cars snaked through city streets, and economies teetered on the brink of recession. The oil embargo marked the beginning of a new era, one in which energy and geopolitics became inseparable. The Yom Kippur War had shown that the fate of nations could hinge not just on armies and alliances, but on the flow of oil from the deserts of the Middle East. The war's legacy endures to this day, a stark reminder of how quickly the world can change and how the actions of a few can shape the destiny of millions. The Arab members of OPEC use oil as a weapon. They announced an oil embargo on the United States and other countries that supported Israel. Overnight, the price of oil quadruples. Gas becomes scarce. People line up for hours at fuel stations. Factories slow down, and economies across the world start to collapse. This was honestly the world's first global energy crisis. Governments suddenly realized just how dependent they were on oil, and well, how vulnerable that made them. New questions emerged. How can we save energy in our daily lives? How can we find new sources? This crisis sparked investment in nuclear, solar, and other alternative energies. The 1973 oil crisis was a real wake-up call, a reminder that whoever controls energy controls the world's economy. If this story intrigued you, I invite you to become a part of our growing community by subscribing to the channel. Every week, we dive deep into the events that have shaped, shaken, and sometimes even shocked our world. By subscribing, you won't just be keeping up with the latest uploads. You'll be joining a passionate group of history enthusiasts, lifelong learners, and curious minds who love to explore the past to better understand the present. So if you found this story thought-provoking, or if you simply enjoy learning about the pivotal moments that have defined our collective journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. It's the best way to make sure you never miss out on our upcoming explorations into the fascinating twists and turns of history. And while you're at it, don't forget to tap the like button. It might seem like a small gesture, but it actually makes a huge difference. When you like a video, you're telling the YouTube algorithm that this content is worth sharing with more people. That means more viewers get to discover these stories, more conversations get started, and our community grows even stronger. Plus, it lets me know that you appreciate the time, research, and effort that goes into creating each episode. So, if you enjoyed this video, please take a second to give it a thumbs up. It really helps. If you want to take your support a step further, consider sharing this video with friends, family, or anyone you think might be interested in the incredible stories that have shaped our world. Whether you post it on social media, send it in a group chat, or simply mention it in a conversation. Every share helps us reach new viewers and spark new discussions. After all, history is best when it's shared, debated, and explored together. Now I'd love to hear from you. The comment section is open, and your voice truly matters here. I read every comment, and your feedback, questions, and suggestions help shape the direction of this channel. So let's make this a two-way conversation. Tell me, what did you think of today's story? Did it surprise you, challenge your perspective, or inspire you to learn more? Is there a particular moment in history you'd like to see covered in a future episode? Your ideas and insights are always welcome. In fact, I'm already planning the next video, and I want your input. Should the next deep dive be about the dramatic events of the 1979 oil crisis? A moment that sent shockwaves through the global economy, changed the way nations thought about energy, and left a lasting impact on international relations. Imagine exploring the causes behind the crisis, the long lines at gas stations, the political maneuvering, and the lessons we can still learn from that turbulent time. Or would you prefer to go even further back and uncover the origins of OPEC itself? The creation of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries was a turning point in the world's energy landscape, shifting the balance of power and setting the stage for decades of economic and political drama. The choice is yours, and I can't wait to see which topic excites you most. Cast your vote in the comments below. Should we unravel the story of the 1979 oil crisis? Or should we trace the roots of OPEC and see how a handful of countries changed the world's energy game forever? Your input will directly influence the next episode, so don't be shy. And if you have another idea entirely, feel free to share it. I'm always on the lookout for fascinating stories that deserve a closer look. Thank you so much for watching, for being curious, and for helping to build a community where history comes alive. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription helps this channel grow and ensures that we can keep bringing you the stories that matter. Until next time, keep keep asking questions, keep seeking knowledge, and keep exploring the incredible events that have shaped our world. I'll see you in the next video.